The Witcher is back with Season 3, Volume 1, and it's safe to say that this first part of the season was all about deceiving us and setting up what looks like is going to be an explosive final volume when it gets released next month. Hello everyone, fellow Witcher fans, welcome to the Let Me Explain It. Okay, YouTube channel, now I will explain to you the ending of Witcher Season 3. This video will contain spoilers, so remember you've been warned to watch next part. Focusing on Ciri harnessing her abilities and trying to reach the full potential of the powers that she holds, whilst being hunted by the likes of Ryans, wanted in Redania, whilst also being at the center point of unity in the continent. We saw all sides coming together, whilst also looking to tear each other apart. So let's get into it. Here is the Witcher season. The final episode of Season 3. We saw that Geralt and Yennefer were at the heart of aiming to form an alliance of the North with the likes of Emir, reaching out to Francesca to form an alliance too, despite it being one that seemed as though it had a lot of insincerity behind it. Both sides of the continent were strengthening, or so it seemed. Both sides understood the power of Ciri, and that they all wanted her to be with them amongst the elves. Ciri was seen as some kind of prophet. She was also the daughter of Emir. She was wanted in Redania, and re-entered the mage that was essentially his puppet master wanted her to, so she was quite literally a most wanted individual. And we saw just how delicate it was due to the constant moving around that they needed to do towards the end with the North. All in one place, we saw a night of celebrations occur. Ciri was absent for the most part of the episode as she was being kept safe in a cabin which had a spell cast around it. So everything basically happened inside of the Grand Hall in Aretuza. We saw multiple different conversations taking place as Geralt and Yennefer believed that Strega Ball was the master mage who was using extreme powers in order to find, locate, and aim to bring Ciri to him. He was accused of corrupting portals, kidnapping several of the students at Aretuza, and casting mind control spells in order to replicate Ciri. Hence why we saw Taryn speaking and acting the way that she was earlier on in the season. When she believed that she was Ciri, they were essentially planting what they believed to be Ciri's memories inside of their heads. However, upon finding the Book of Manoliths inside of Strega Boy's chamber, a book that essentially enabled an individual to hold the ability to travel through time and space, which would have made sense as to how he was able to do what he was doing with the students. The ancient elven text that went missing being in his possession was something that was placed under protection, along with him being taken away in preparation for a trial. With it seeming like peace was going to be found, and upon Yennefer and Geralt being content with the way that their plan went, they then had a realization that things weren't as they seemed. This was upon finding his bracelet that was on the floor. We should have known that something was up as the music that was being played in the background for the most part of the final episode contained the lyrics. All is not as it seems, highlighting to us and literally telling us that what had happened was not what we should have believed. The bracelet was made from scarlet armonite, which is something that Geralt noticed was the same thing that made up Lydia's earrings, an individual who was terribly wounded, and her face was an illusion because of it. She also didn't speak, and could only communicate telepathically, which tied into something that Terence said in episode 2 of the show. The lady with the funny voice, which meant that she could have seen Lydia when she was trapped. This material is something that is only found in West Verdania, the location in where Terran was found, and also the place that Geralt went to in search of Ryans, where he found all of the girls that were being kept there. Scarlet Armonite is a material, but is said to be given to loved ones in order to protect them, and who cares about Sisaya the most Vilgefords, so that meant that Vilgefort was in fact the person that was behind what was going on. Not Streakable, or at least he could have been involved, but it's not looking like he's the master mage that has been in control of France and treating him like a puppet. This was in fact Vilgefort's. So it showed that the pair had their facts wrong, and it also meant that Tessayer could be in grave danger as she was not aware of the person that he actually was. The final thing that we saw in the season was Dextra standing there holding a weapon to Geralt, and claiming how he should have picked aside something that he was adamant that he didn't want to do. He must have definitely known, though he knows everything about everyone and what they're basically doing at all times. So he was fully aware of what was going to be going down. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. Following this, let's remember the spellwood was cast, only keeps Ciri safe until the morning. So if they manage to keep Geralt and Yennefer contained, then who knows what could happen by the way it's going to be exciting. Overall review. I thought this first part of the season was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it unfold and it going through the motions of laying down all of the groundwork for what I feel will be a rewarding payoff next month. When part 2 comes around, one of my favorite things about this show were the fight scenes that we see taking place. They're so well choreographed, and the camera work is something that I also love watching when it comes around. The focusing in on the weapons and the close-ups of everything that happens really allows the dramatic effect to be felt. Plus, you see everything. The skillful nature of the likes of Geralt's is felt when he's deep in combat, and he's fending off several people when he's severely outnumbered. I'm a huge fan of that. Seeing Henry Cavill back as Geralt was kind of bittersweet. He's so good in this role, and it's a real shame knowing that he's not going to be returning in Season 4, and that this is the last time that we're going to be seeing him play the character. His cold, confident, yet caring and compassionate nature is something that's unlike any other character on TV, and Cavill plays the role so well. I would also say that Jennifer was delivered so well this time around too, showing that the two leads in the show were fully deserved of the roles, and they've really enabled the characters to become ones that you truly root for. Despite going through so much, I'm a massive fan of the character's Ciri too, watching her journey of coming to terms with the importance that she holds, the doubt that's in her mind on if she's actually good enough. But the want to do better and to unite the continent is something that's been great to witness. You feel the good intentions behind the character, and I really can't wait to see it when her powers are in full force, and we see her step up. I think that will most definitely be an epic moment that will well be worth the wait. I thought the CGI in this season was also pretty good too. With there being monsters and creatures that often appear, there's always doubts and fears that it may not look that great. But I feel the team behind it made it look so convincing, and there were no real moments where things just looked a bit ridiculous. So I'm glad that it was all fine, because if it wasn't, then it would have most definitely transported us straight out of the world. Consider hearing there were lots of different areas in this world that we're in, which contain a lot of different motives. It didn't really feel too complicated to follow. I would say that I would have liked to have seen more of Ryan's in this first part, because it felt like there was more to offer from him after episode 2 or 3. It was like he was no real threat. So what was he doing when everything else was happening? The final episode where we saw the evening take place, and then it going back and showing us all of the conversations that took place in more detail, was something that I really appreciated, along with the twist of Vilgefortz actually being the mage that was working with Ryan's. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this next part of Season 3 is going to go down. I imagine it's also going to have around 5 episodes, so there's going to be plenty more for us to look forward to. So there you have it, The Witcher Season 3 Volume 1 review, and ending explained, and that's a wrap for Season 3 of The Witcher. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it informative and engaging. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below in the comment section. I'll do my best to respond to each and every one of them. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for more content. Like this, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We appreciate your support and feedback. If there's a topic you'd like us to cover in future videos, please let us know. We're always looking for new ideas to bring you valuable and exciting content. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Fucking around, I keep right on. I ain't tryna tell you what to do, we're tryna play cool. Baby, I ain't playing by your rules. Everything look better with the view.